We've gone 6 weeks without pubs, bars or restaurants open in the UK. But let's be honest, we would love to head back to our local. But how can we do this?
Well, in Sweden, pubs and bars have managed to stay open permanently. They're subject to some pretty tough restrictions, but the doors are still open. So could we follow suit? We're joined now by bar manager Joakim Risby, who is still serving customers in Stockholm. Good morning.
Good morning.
To you. Welcome.
Good morning.
So how have you stayed open? What are the rules? What are the guidelines?
Well, basically, the authorities have given us two restrictions. The first restriction is that the place can never, ever get crowded. And the second restriction is that they only allow table service, which means you can no longer order a drink or food at the bar. You need to sit down. Someone needs to come out, take your order, and deliver the drink or food to the table. Those are the two restrictions that has come from our authorities. Other than that, we've got our own guidelines, and we've got our own adjustments that we have made.
Well, those adjustments have been...
But those are the rules right now.
Right, OK. You had sofas, you've got rid of the sofas, you've put marks down so nobody can move the chairs, you've got perspex in between the tables. So, I mean, do people find that is an enjoyable experience?
Well, it's a bit of a difficult situation because going for us and for our guests, going to the pub is about socializing. And right now, we're very strict on for a group of people not to interfere with another group of people. So when you go to our pub, you need to only hang out with the people they actually arrived with to our pub. So it's not the same thing anymore, but people still enjoy coming. There's not as much people in the pub as there used to be. So the atmosphere is not really the same, but at least we're managing to stay open and people can come and have their drinks.
Well, most of us haven't seen the inside of a pub for a very long time now. We've almost forgotten what one looks like. Will you just take us around your pub so we can see some of these things you've put in place?
Sure. Basically, these are our adjustments. Can you see it clearly here?
Yeah, you can see the perspex board there and the tape on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And we built these plexiglass walls between the tables just to make sure that you don't actually interfere.
When you're working there now, you must feel that you're sort of a bit like the fun police, really, stopping people from talking to anybody else. I mean, that's not great for you, is it?
No. I mean, for us, sorry. Our staff feel that instead of just acting as a barman or a waiter, you actually just walk around telling people off and telling people to sit down to their assigned chair, telling people not to speak to each other, not to hug, keeping a social distance. So we used to have about 300 guests within our pub. Now we're restricted to about 100 by our own rules, basically. But it still feels like we're serving 300 people, but we just have 100 guests because we keep running around in circles, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you find that people
just to basically
want to go out? Do people actually want to go out?
They do. At the beginning, it dropped tremendously. The revenue dropped about 60 to 70%. And we noticed that people actually stayed home. But the last couple of weeks, I've noticed that people now they're getting a bit bored from trying to stay at home. And they started to come more frequently.
All right,
so they still want to go out.
Thank you very much for joining us today. You take care, look after yourself.
Thank you.
So then, how realistic is this for British pubs? Well, British model turned publican Jodie Kidd is live from her pub now in West Sussex. So, Jodie, we've obviously just seen what measures are like in Sweden there, but you have a 15th century Grade 2 listed tiny country pub. How is this going to work for you?
Very, very complicated. A lot of the British pubs are old, kind of low-beamed kind of places that are a bit higgledy-piggledy. And just literally, this is the bar behind me, putting that 2-metre social distancing in there would only mean that I'd get 2 people really in. And then you've got the bathroom so close. It's just going to be really, really difficult for kind of period properties that are pubs. If you've got space, then yeah, you're able to do it. But there's so many pubs and restaurants in the UK that are, you know, really kind of very, very small, and it would be impossible to kind of manage.
Well, I suppose the financial implications are huge anyway. You can't fire up all the staff, just serve a pint every 10 minutes.
Exactly, and actually at the moment it's where we are paying less being closed and we've had to shut everything down. But if we were to bring that back up, yeah, and only serving, as you said, 3 pints, you know, an hour instead of 30, it's just not going to be cost effective. But you know, the great thing is that that people are really thinking outside the box. So we've started doing takeaway services. I've seen some other pubs have kind of turned into farm shops and places that you can go and click and collect and get some produce from. So it's a time where we're just going to have to think differently. You know, this is really unprecedented times for everybody. Yeah, it's tough, but you know, there is ways that you can keep certain members of your staff going and you know, just being creative.
Yeah, well, I know, you know, across the board, the hospitality industry has been hit hard. For you, what about your staff? How are you coping?
Well, I mean, at the beginning, it was, you know, complete kind of panic stations. That's it, close up shop, done, and you go, where are we going? What's going on? But now we've started up doing our takeaways. So I've managed to get 3 members of staff back in, which is great. So it's kind of now we're seeing a little bit of light, a little bit of kind of understanding, because it was no one knew what was going on. So, but now we can put a bit of structure in place. So we can at least got 3 members of staff back in. We've got our chefs back in. So we're able to make a small plan.
These things aren't going to change anytime soon.
No.
So when do you see yourself opening up? When do you think that bar is going to be full?
Yeah, I mean, literally, we're going to be the last places. The hospitality industry, the you know, restaurants and pubs are going to be the last place, because it is everything that we don't need to be doing right now, which is socializing, being around people. You know, so we're going to be the last. So I have been speaking to friends within the industry, and realistically, I don't think we'll be going full speed again till before Christmas. Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, thank you for joining us,
Thank
Jodie.
you.
Good luck with the takeaway business.
Look
I
after
hope that
yourself.
keeps everybody going and buoyed up. And it's lovely to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank
And you guys.
Thank you very much.